we're going to kick this off by saying grab a pen and paper. You're going to want to make a list. I had to make a list. You're going to want to make a list, okay? Because this is going to give you a guide to building a well-rounded, well-stocked pantry. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness. Yes, we are. A well-stocked pantry is the best insurance that money can buy. It guarantees that you and yours will always be able to eat during times of crisis, whether that is job loss or a weather event or something bigger. It's not about the end of the world as we know it. It is about everyday life. And having a well-stocked pantry to help make sure that you are taken care of is integral to removing a lot of stress and a lot of worry. And today we're going to talk about how to start if you haven't started. And if you have started, maybe this will help you decide what your next steps are. Identifying basic steps for a pantry is integral to making sure that you have all of the things that you need. And so we're going to kick it off right here. Okay, first we're going to start with grains. So that is rice, pasta of various kinds, okay? I'm not a big fan of egg noodles being stored up. You can keep them for a little while, but if you're not going through them pretty rapidly, I would say just stick with other pastas, okay? Quinoa, if you eat it, and oats. Those are the primary grains. Again, only stock them if you eat them. If you don't eat them today, don't stock them. It's a waste of money. I want to barter. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want anybody to know that you've got stuff sitting in your pantry that you're not going to eat. That is hoarding. Legumes are another factor to consider. So you've got all these different quadrants we're going to be going through, approximately about 20. Dog. So next, you're going to want to think about legumes. And again, if you eat them, okay? So dried beans like black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans. Dried beans are so affordable, economical, perfect for long-term storage or short-term, cheaper than buying them already canned up. It's really a great thing. So dried beans, lentils, split peas. Don't forget about like chickpeas. They're so versatile. But, you know, if you buy them in dried form, you don't have to worry about it. You can make hummus all the time. It's a great thing. The next one is flour. This one gets a little bit tricky because it doesn't last as long, okay? But it's good still to have it in your pantry as long as you're using it, as long as you're rotating through it. So your all-purpose flour, your whole wheat flour, and if you use them, alternative flours like coconut flour, almond flour, that kind of thing. If you're looking for more long-term storage solutions and you grind your own, you mill your own, then wheat berries are the way to go. Absolutely. Everybody needs a little sweetness in their life. Yes, they do. So don't forget about your sweeteners, okay? And that is your granulated sugar, brown sugar, honey, maple syrup. Remember, you can make your own brown sugar. It's not brain surgery. Just have some sorghum or some molasses, and you can mix that in with regular sugar. It's one less thing to keep on the shelf. It's a great thing. Salts and spices, because spices make things interesting, okay? Salt is 100% necessary for our bodies. Now, maybe not as much as what we're consuming, because often we don't realize how much we're consuming, but salt is very important, and it's a forever food. Literally lasts forever. Put it in a jar, put the lid on, put it away. You don't have to do another thing with it, right? So table salt, kosher salt, black pepper, assorted spices, whatever spices that you really like, you know, cumin or turmeric or paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. Yeah, hello. So, you know, those are really important to have on your shelves also. Next, we're going to go for the cooking oils. Again, these are a limited shelf life, okay? So coconut oil lasts the longest out of all of them. Then there's vegetable oils. Do or don't, whatever. Olive oil, that kind of thing is good. And if you have it, lard is awesome. But again, it's a limited shelf life. So I keep our lard in the freezer. You know, if we ever lose power forever and ever and ever, it'll be a problem. Until then, it's not. Canned goods, whether they are commercially canned goods or whether they are home canned goods. Canned goods are a great thing to have on your shelves. So look at canned tomatoes. I mean, do you know how many things you use tomatoes in? A lot. Tomatoes get used a whole bunch. Canned beans, if you don't want to keep the the dried version, just the dried version. I can black beans and pinto beans all the time, and kidney beans. I can them all the time. It's cheaper than buying them already canned. I know it's in the jar. It's a great thing. And because that way, when I'm busy, it's convenient. I can just grab them. If you're not a canner, buy the ones from the store, okay? Canned fruits. Oh, yes, okay? I've got a whole shelf down here with fruits and canned vegetables. All very important. I had to swing back over here because protein, you know I'm all about the protein, right? So canned proteins, tuna or salmon or chicken or beef or pork. Yes, okay? All the canned meats. Very, very important. But don't forget, peanut butter also has protein, and any of your nuts and seeds, which should stay in the freezer. I have videos to talk about this. So yes, consider all of those under the protein source. Dairy alternatives. So shelf-stable milk or plant-based alternatives, right, are a great thing if that's something that you consume today. Or powdered milk. I have powdered milk by the caseload because even though I don't personally drink it, Phil does. And I use it when I'm cooking or when I'm baking. It's really important to have around in case, you know, the snowstorm that I've been wishing for the rest, you know, my whole life shows up and I can't leave the house. I will have milk. Yes. Don't have to do a bread and milk run. Not at this house. Baking essentials. So baking powder, baking soda, yeast. Okay. You remember the yeast shortage of the pandemic? Yes. Having those around. The baking powder will not last indefinitely, but you're normally good for a year or two. The yeast is best stored in the freezer. That's the best place to keep it to make sure that it stays good. Once you open it, you can store it in the fridge. It's great. It lasts in there for a really long time. So those basic baking essentials, you can make a ton of different things with them. Dried fruits. Okay, I have dried fruits up here. Yeah, dried fruits. If you eat them, raisins, apricots, cranberries. I don't remember everything I've got up there. I have dates. I have prunes. I have everything, okay? Dried fruits are cranberries. Yes, very good. You know, the dried fruits are great. They're great for snacking. They're great for morale. They're great for baking. They give you vitamins. They give you all the stuff that you need. So dried fruits, if you eat them, are a great thing to have on your shelf. Don't forget about your condiments because a hamburger doesn't taste the same without your condiments, right? It's just a slab of ground beef at that point. But if you put that special sauce or ketchup or mustard or whatever on it, okay? So ketchup, mustard, the ingredients for mayonnaise or mayonnaise, if you're just starting out, you don't stock up a lot. Depends on how much you go through, but mayonnaise has a remarkably short shelf life, okay? So learning how to make it yourself is a really good thing to do. Pasta sauces and condiments, meaning tomato sauce, pesto, soy sauce, that kind of stuff, right? Dried herbs. That goes right in with the spices. So you're looking at basil, oregano, thyme. Okay, we can all use a little more thyme. Cereals and breakfast foods. I'm a little torn on this. Right? Because most of the stuff they pass off as breakfast food is a whole bunch of sugar in a pretty package. It's pure garbage. It's pure garbage. But oatmeal, granola, certain cereals are actually, you can store them for a pretty long time. Pay attention to the ingredients and figure out the best way to store them. If they are your favorite, if they are your ride or die breakfast, okay, then try to find a way to store them up or to replace them with something a little more healthy. Instant meals, quick meals, okay, instant noodles, rice mixes, boxed macaroni and cheese. These are all options, definitely, if your family eats them today. Beverages, okay, you know, I'm not going without my coffee. It's not happening. So, coffee, tea, shelf-stable juice, instant coffee if you have to. You know, any kind of shelf-stable beverages that you can stock up on. Grab a sale, stock up on them. Comfort foods. Okay, so for years and years and years, I saw people stocking up on saltine crackers. Good old, plain, simple saltine crackers. Put them in a half-gallon jar. Vacuum seal them. They'll be good a year, 2, 3, 4, 10 years later. Bull. They won't. They go rancid. They have an oil in them. They go rancid. Trust me on this. I know this. I'm the one that emptied all the jars, okay? But you can stock up on some crackers for, say, 6 months. Okay, so figure out 6 months. Find a good sale. Under comfort foods, look for chocolates or cocoa. Remember, milk chocolate literally lasts years. Absolute years, okay? And popcorn. Everybody overlooks popcorn. It's like the most underrated, unappreciated snack food out there. It is so good. Popcorn. Vinegar. White vinegar. If you're a canner, you want a 5% or higher. Apple cider vinegar. Both are very good. If you make a lot of dishes with different flavored, like rice wine vinegar or something like that, you know, you can stock up on those. Vinegar lasts a really long time. Canned soups and broths. Now, I have these, but I go through these at an amazing rate because I cannot make chicken stock. I cannot make enough of it for the quantity that I intake, because at nighttime I drink that instead of coffee so that I'm not sitting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I use it with my pet food so that it softens their, their food a little bit. I go through a lot of chicken stock. But if that will never be a long-term kind of thing. But if you can it or you buy it in cans, it is much longer lasting. But having some kind of chicken broth, vegetable broth, canned soups, that's good. Dried pasta and rice mixes. And I'm putting this in there because not everybody knows how to make their own, okay? So if you're doing like rice-a-roni or, hamburger helper, you can make those on your own without all the stuff in them, right? But if you just want something quick and easy, make sure you've got a few boxes of those or the ingredients to make your own up on the shelves. Emergency food kits. Yes. So making an emergency food kit for your car, for your 72-hour bag, for your bug-out bag, okay, is a great thing. Think energy bars, shelf-stable meals. It's fantastic. They're super easy to put together and convenient. But remember not to leave them in your car if it gets warm, because water. Not only do you need water, okay, bottled water, but bottled water is a great thing. If you go pick up a few cases, that's great. Rotate through them. Do not save them for a rainy day, okay? Bottled water. But water purification tablets, I'll put a link down below. Those are a good thing to have on hand if something happens. Think about how many boil water situations you get maybe from your municipality. If somebody runs into something, or if somebody's constructing something and a pipe bursts or a pipe gets cut into accidentally, they have to issue boil water warnings. If you have the water purification tablets, no matter where you get your water from, you can make sure that it's potable. And that is really important, because without water, we cease to exist. Cleaning supplies. Yes. In my pantry, it's not just about food. It's all this other stuff too. Okay, so cleaning supplies like dish soap, multi-surface cleaners, trash bags. I have enough trash bags to last me 4 years, and that includes the ones where if somebody really ticks me off. Just saying. Remember to customize your pantry to you and yours and what you require. What you stock up on is not what I may stock up on, and vice versa. So you want to customize it to what you need, what you use, what restrictions, dietary or otherwise, that you have. And that is how you stock up your pantry. You don't just buy it because somebody tells you to, okay? Regularly review and update your pantry and everything that's in it. Have I mentioned Project Pantry? Yeah, it's this really cool planner. Links down below. Anyway, you want to regularly go through this. I inventory this chaos 4 times a year. 4 times a year. I'm in here every quarter inventorying, seeing what is not moving, what is moving. If you're like me, you eat kind of seasonally. We eat very seasonally. And so there are some things that we plow through in the wintertime that we don't touch again until next fall. And some things that we only eat in the summer that we don't touch again until summer hits. So depending on how you eat, what your restrictions are, that is how you want to stock your pantry. Never stock it because I tell you that that's what you should have in there. The list that I'm providing you, by the way, there will be a link down below. The list that I'm providing you is a list to guide you to those categories so that you can then figure out what goes in those categories from your household, because that's what's important. making sure that you stock up on what you use. If you want to see more videos about different ways to stock your pantry, check out this playlist right here. And until next time, everybody, be safe.